Hello Aquarius, welcome to my channel. This is Tarot channel. I'm going to be doing a reading for you today about your career and finances. What should Aquarius know about their career and finances? Alright. Page of Swords, Five of Pentacles. What else should Aquarius know about their career and finances? Okay. Let me set this properly so you can see it. Alright, this is quite an interesting one, Aquarius. You have the Page of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, and Five of Cups. Showing up for you. You need to move on. You need to walk away. You need to walk away from a bad situation. You need to walk away from a toxic environment. Maybe your job is toxic and you've been just managing it and you've just been there trying to navigate the very deep and shallow. Is it deep and shallow, shallow and deep waters? Deep on one end, shallow on the other. Shallow people, shallow-minded environment. And deep in sense of just dragging you down. You need to get out of such a bad situation. With the Five of Cups showing up for you and the Five of Pentacles, you need to recalibrate, right? You need to take the burdens of the Ten of Wands off your shoulders and move on. There's a situation right now that is not working for you at your office, at your workplace. I'm seeing something that has to do with toxicity, right? You're in a toxic environment. You're in a toxic environment and you need to get out fast. You need to get out with immediacy, with immediate effect. All right. If you are at a company where you are employed at will, take a walk. You need to get out before it ruins you. What is this Five of Cups and Five of Pentacles energy? What is this energy? Why is this showing up for Aquarius in their career and finances? Does this have to do with their career or finances? Or does it have to do with both? Career. This has to do with your career. There's a development that is not possible because maybe something is tying you down. There's something tying you down with the Five of Pentacles and Five of Cups energy. And Ten of Wands as well in your career. There's an expansion that you're meant to experience. There's something that you need to do to move into a different level of reality in your career, right? But there's something tying you down. So you need to walk away from that. You need to walk away from the situation. You need to walk away from the bad experience. You need to walk away from the toxic. I'm sensing a very toxic environment, right? That is leaving you out in the cold. Right? With the Five of Pentacles energy, you're out in the cold. You're out on your head. Like, you're left without a shield. You're left without a safety net. You've been pushed out of the way. It could also mean maybe that you were recently fired or laid off unexpectedly through no fault of yours, of course. And you're just, maybe there's something that's making you feel such despair, right? But there's hope, right? With the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, you can get back on your feet. It's most likely this has already happened. Walking away from a bad situation or being pushed out of a place that was working for you and it ended up just coming by surprise and you don't know what to do or you didn't know what to do and you have so many things wearing down on your neck in your career, right? So now it's time for expansion in terms of, but this expansion, I'm sensing here that you're even currently presently in this situation where you're either going to experience being forced out of your workplace or you need to move out, right? Because it's not working. It's just not working out for you. It's not just taking you to the place that you need to be as at now. And the place that you need to be is already prepared, is already there, but you need to make the move out of the place that isn't working so that you can get into the place that is working for you. With the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, there's just a potential level of growth. There's a potential level of financial growth with the Page of Pentacles and career success, but you need to move away from what isn't working so that you can expand into what is. All right. Let's see more of what the Page of Swords and Page of Pentacles means, and how to get into the higher level of career success and financial success. We have the Nine of Cups that has popped out for you. Okay, financial success is, like I said, and it's showing here. Once you take a walk away from the Eight of Cups, from the situation with the Eight of Cups card has shown you, right? Once you take a walk from that toxic environment, once you take a walk and you step out on your own and you step into your fate, you'll get abundance, right? You get growth, you get expansion, right? You just need to take that work. You just need to make that decision and actually go through with it. It might take some time. It might feel like it's a long journey. It might feel like, oh, it's a process, right, of having to recalibrate and reprioritize. There might be a need for reprioritizing what used to be important to you and taking a new strategy, making new steps, making new contacts, developing new processes, right? Yes, you might have to do that. It might feel in some ways painstaking, maybe not as painstaking as it normally would, but because you have so many pressure and burdens bearing down on you, that's why it might feel like it feels more difficult than it usually would. But this is a moment where it's very important that you work away from what is not working so that you can get into what is with the Nine of Cups. Because the Nine of Cups here is just showing that leaving the bad situation is going to bring about long-term success. It's going to bring about a building of growth and possible public recognition, right? So I know it might be tough. I know it might be very difficult to take a move and take a step back from what is not working if you haven't already. And I know it might be very difficult to just get up and get out again if you have already been sent out of your way and not knowing what to do, losing all your contact, losing all your will. You got to get back into the horse, on the horse, and just ride it again, because it is something that will lead to progress, right? And if you even look at it further, there's a certain level of prosperity that you will achieve, and there's a certain level of acclaim that you will get as well, because you are, in a sense, moving on and on and on to what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe you were stuck in a cycle you didn't know you were at, and now you're finally just progressing and advancing in the way that you're supposed to. Let's see what the Oracle deck has to say about your career and finances. See what came out. The Cage Bird and the Dark Forest. Where do you feel restricted or silenced? What would freedom look like in this area of your life? That is what the Cage Bird is asking you. That's what the card of the Cage Bird is asking you. And then it says, with the Dark Forest, what fears or uncertainties are you currently facing? What strengths can guide you through them? This is pretty straightforward. It clarifies and gives more information on what the tarot card have said already, right? And what the reading has shown, right, is that, yeah, you might feel stuck, you might feel like you're caged, right? But that feeling of being caged can only be elevated, can only be removed rather, by you speaking up, speaking out, stop being silenced, and move. Maybe you talk to a mentor with the Page of Swords. Maybe there's somebody that you can talk to that will guide you through the process of what to do. Maybe it might not even necessarily mean leaving the job in totality. It might just be changing your plans, changing the way that you operate, right? and because you need to get out of this feeling of despair and feeling like you're left out in the cold and stuck, right? So basically, that's what the cage word is telling you. Freedom, what is your idea of freedom? And how would you be free? What do you think you need? Do you need to talk to somebody? Do you need to move into a different level of belief system? What exactly will work for you to get out of the dark forest? Get out of the dark forest. Get out of the uncertainty and tap into your strength. And what is your strength? Let's see. What is the strength that Aquarius can tap into to get a better situation in this their career and finance? Very straightforward, clear answers. Ooh, you have the Sun and the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles showing up for you. Isn't that just great? It's so nice. You have hidden strength. All you gotta do is see, it's not even so hidden, it's blazing. It's just this fire, right? Just fire, fire, fire. So you've got hope. And you've got the Empress, right? You've got the Empress, you've got the Sun, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is high feminine energy. So maybe you gotta tap into your divine feminine energy. You gotta tap into your divine femininity. And maybe walk with the Sun. See, there's such level of assurance. There's just this aura that is emanating from the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. There's such high level of expectation. With the Hope card, I call the Sun the Hope card, right? With the Sun card showing up for you, there's so much high level of hope and trust. So you got to trust in the Sun, trust in nature, trust in God, pray, and your prayers will be answered. That's it for your reading, Aquarius. I will see you in the next video. I wish you all the best, and I know that you get out of this. You're walking away from the bad situation and getting into the good situation.